Hey there guys, welcome back to Back Pocket Game Reviews. I know it's been a really long time since I've sat in this section of sofa and recorded a video for you. However, specifically the video I wanted to record about the Switch and Switch Lite and which one you should go with. For those of you who didn't know, the Switch is like one of my absolute favorite game systems. Whether it be just because of the amazing games that Nintendo themselves make for it, or even if it just be because, let's be honest here, I can play a lot of games on the go that were last gen games. Like Skyrim, Dark Souls, all these different games I have at my fingertips that I never thought I would be playing on the go, at least not anytime soon. And sure enough, there they are. So obviously the Switch Lite is essentially this. That is the completed handheld mode of the Switch. And while that is great and all, and it does pack a little additional battery life, the newer Switch, so there is a new model of the Switch coming out. It is not a full new model, it is everything that is here, just with a slightly different GPU, increasing the battery life of this guy from being slightly below the Switch Lite to 5 hours, which is slightly above the Switch Lite. That's some pretty good handheld time. To be fair, too, it also has a USB-C charging port, which is the same thing my phone uses, so I can constantly just charge this wherever I am, whether I be in the car, whatnot. Granted, use a Switch branded charger because there's some overcharge protection and stuff like that that isn't built into that. There's just some bad design flaw there. So the reason that I do stand by the Switch Lite, and I do think it is right for some people. However, those people need to take into account what all they are missing. Obviously, the biggest thing you're missing is dock mode. You can't walk over to your TV, drop this in, and play it like a traditional game console. That is kind of a downside. So if you do have people that want to play, like I have 4 members of my family in my house at all times, we couldn't just drop this in, bust off the joysticks, and start playing some Mario Party or Mario Kart. There are some drawbacks to that particular style of the system. Now, granted, to a lot of people, that's not going to be a deal breaker. Some people, it will definitely be a deal breaker. And it's hard to say which one of those people you are, and only you can honestly make that decision. If you just want to be able to play it as a handheld, that's great. However, you also do got to account into you are going to lose motion controls for certain things. So games like Mario Party, you'll have to buy a whole bunch of Joy-Cons and play it in like tabletop mode, but it doesn't have tabletop mode, so you'd have to find like a kickstand and stuff. For those of you who don't know what tabletop mode is, that is literally where you flip out the little kickstand there, and I could sit here like this, or I could slide my Joy-Cons right into a comfort grip. And your other downside is what happens if one of them joysticks goes out, or something along those lines. And from what I can tell, they do use a slightly different joystick than what the Joy-Cons are, and you get a full D-pad as opposed to the buttons because you're not busting that controller off. However, again, as I said, that is going to limit you on some games, and sometimes on my lunch break at work, I like to just sit there like this, playing games. I can literally do this at work, playing games, as if I were in front of my television. Granted, I've got a 60-inch TV that is a 7-inch tablet. Obviously, there is a huge size discrepancy there. But I don't think the Switch Lite is a bad decision. I think it was a smart decision, but it all depends on the person. It all depends on how that person intends on playing. And do you think these features add an extra $100 onto the console for you? Because that is the price difference. It's $100. You're looking at $200 or $300 for the full Switch. And personally, I think the $300 for the full Switch is the better option. I do think there's more you can do with it. It is a bit more versatile, but that's also my opinion. And I'm not saying that those of you who are like, man, I'm going to get a Switch Lite, I'm not saying you're in the wrong. I'm just saying some of the greatest parts about the Switch aren't there. I also feel like they should have called it something other than the Switch Lite. It's just, it doesn't switch. The whole point of the Switch is it switches. It has different modes, different ways you can play it. And that doesn't. It's just straightforward. Here is your tablet with Joy-Cons permanently attached on the end. And as I said, there is going to be a market. There are people who would buy that, whether it be for their kids. It is kind of like a 2DS. It is the 3DS without all of the bells and whistles and features. And I do think some people will enjoy that, but I can't personally justify that, especially because I love my Pro Controller. Being able to drop it in on the TV, sit here and play Zelda, and I can just swap back and forth. Batteries get low in tablet mode, I can pop it in over there. Maybe I just got home and I want to pick right back up from where I left off. I can drop it right into the dock, and I can just back to Breath of the Wild, doing my thing. And I think that's the biggest part to me, is I couldn't live without those features. Those are features I couldn't separate with. And I'm not telling you you shouldn't be able to. Again, if you think that is right for you, then make that decision. I just want to make sure you're aware of what you are losing by making that decision. I think that's the part that sometimes people forget, and sometimes people don't always understand all of the different ways you can actually utilize the Switch. I literally had my Switch propped up like that at work one time, playing in the break room, and I had one of my employees go, "Oh, I didn't know you could do that." But yeah, it doesn't just drop in the dock and then you're done. I mean, there's just, it is essentially the Switch Army knife of game consoles. And that's a great thing. It's very innovative, it's very unique, and that's what makes it special to me. Even my son uses it all the time in tablet mode, but even he sometimes likes to drop it in on one of the docks on all of our TVs. Yeah, we have docks on all of our TVs, because I'm that guy. But I wanted to make sure you're aware of what you're losing. Guys, if you are new here, don't forget to click the subscribe button, ding that bell. Make sure that you get all the notifications from my videos. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a thumbs up. And also, if you want to follow me anywhere else, links are as always in the description box down below, from my Patreon to my Xbox Live ID. Somewhere on my community tab, you can actually find where I've posted my Nintendo Switch, my ID for that. So, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see y'all soon. I'll have plenty more content coming for you.